grow. Billy is an innovative leader in the industry and loves teaching how to build quality fence. So sit down, grab a cold beverage, and get ready to talk about fence. Today's show is sponsored by Mr. Fence Academy. If you're looking to hit the next level of your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? It feels good to be back in this chair behind this computer in my son's room, oddly enough. It's been 2 weeks, had a good time off. I've got really awesome news. I'll have my new intro next week. It'll be done, completely done. I got it back today, and it wasn't in the MP4 format, so I had to get it sent back off, and I'll have it in the MP4 format tomorrow. But yeah, so how's everybody been? I was in Vegas. She was in Vegas, by the way, guys. This is my beautiful wife, Amanda. She is going to be jumping on here tonight. Moving forward, we're going to get her more on the back end things of the podcast, jump in here and there whenever needed. And but yeah, guys, so I want to go ahead and verbally thank my sponsors. Mr. Fence Academy, thank you so much. Not only just a sponsor, but hey man, I love doing things with you guys. National Metal Industries, thank you so much for your sponsorship. I love working with you as well. And then we got Pro Web Fencing as well, and I will have their new commercial as well ready to drop next week. Give me just 1 second. Let me update something in here. All right, so we got Miss Susan K. Worley in here.
Hey.
Hey girl, how are you? Let's see. Trying to scroll down here. I'm looking at 2 different screens right now. We got JC Gurry in the house. Hey guys, what is going on? I'm wearing your hat. Thank you so much. Mr. Mark, we need to get up and talk. Let's see. We got Miss Amanda Hunt on. She's watching. Hey girl, how are you?
Hi, darling.
Got Miss Alexis Behringer. There we go. How are you, girl? It's been a while since I've seen you. Kids are looking good. Kids are getting big too.
Yes.
Mr. Mike Levy, National Metal Industries. What is going on, sir? How are you tonight? Then we got Orlando Hinge Company. What's going on, brother? It was so nice to finally meet you in Vegas. But you know, that's kind of how my past 2 weeks have been Vegas and then getting back and then readjusting myself to real life again. So, you know, that's what it was. It was my first time in Vegas, and also it was my first ever fence show as well. So it was a whole total thing. But we got some wins and losses. My biggest win of the week is, even though Dale got stuck with our trailer in Kansas in a giant windstorm, which put us a day behind, and we had to stay in Evansville. That next morning, I got to go work with the top dog crew at Mr. Fence, and that is Moises, and I can't remember the other 2 guys' names, but man, we blew it out of the water. I remember she was like, "Hey, we're gonna or I'm gonna come bring you lunch," and I had texted her a Snapchat picture of how far along the fence we were done. And she got back and we had that one line left to picket. She was like, "Man, I did not think that y'all would be done already." I was like, "Yeah, girl. Yeah." But my only loss has to do with the same thing, and that's not getting back home in time, because she had to call out of work since she's not in the fence industry yet. But that would be my only loss of the past 2 weeks. Everything was fun, wonderful experience. And I can't wait to bring on our guest tonight, Mr. Evan Gardner, who is at the show and worked hand in hand with me pretty much all week. We helped each other out. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a real good time. How was the show for you since it was your first ever
I
trade show as
had
well?
an amazing time.
Yeah.
And funny story, Evan is actually the first person I met when we got there that helped us check in and get
Oh,
registered.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
he was
remember
the
that.
first person I met. So, no, it was wonderful. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I met so many people. Again, faces to names made me so happy.
Right. Right. All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get him on. Oh, I accidentally double clicked it. Sorry, buddy. Hey, man, how are you doing?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, not a whole lot, brother. How have you been?
Good. Very
Good.
good.
That's awesome. Um, and I got where you're from wrong. It's Dunham Springs or Durham Springs, right?
Denham Springs. We call it Dinky
Yeah.
Springs. Denham Springs.
Okay, so it's not Lafayette, guys. That's my bad on that one.
No, that's Chris Gass. He's over there on the Lafayette side.
Yeah. Well, bro, how was your past 2 weeks? We can do your past week, but you were at the fence show with me, so how did that go for you?
It was a good week. Definitely a different experience having to show off one of your own tools.
Oh yeah,
Fortunately, I got to do that.
and we're gonna get into that later, guys. Just stick around for that part. It's gonna be good.
It was a good week. Demo days was fun. It was nice working in really hot temperatures, but not sweating. So we
Yeah.
had to get used to that. Make sure you drink a lot of water and don't really realize how hot you actually are.
Yep. Yep.
Um, hard ground over there for sure.
Super hard ground. Super hard ground. And you were manning up the like US Hammer the whole time, man. And I felt bad for you at a point because we had drove like 2 lines of fence and y'all were still on like the third or fourth post over there. I was like, man, y'all were hanging
Yeah,
on that thing.
I mean the U.S. Hammer has its place.
Yeah, absolutely does. Absolutely does. I'm not like throwing no shade on US Hammer because I love Brian and they have an awesome product, but dude, it was some hard pounding ground out there, man.
Hard
And
ground.
they said it couldn't be done in Nevada, but I'm telling you what, I drove posts over 4 feet deep. Like we
It
did
got
it.
done.
It got done.
It got done.
It got done. Absolutely. All right. Well, we're gonna jump into this. You got to give me a win and a loss as well for your last week.
So for the win, got to do a no dig vinyl training with Sean in Longview, Texas, with the Blue Ribbon guys. Got to
Dusty
see
Ashworth.
what's that?
Was that Dusty?
Yes, yeah, Dusty.
Great guy. Great guy.
And crew. Really nice guys. Actually, Dusty rode with me and Sean. You know, we both rode with Sean to Las Vegas in the RV. It was a very eventful ride. I mean, I was in the RV. I actually filed the patent for the wing jack, the other tool that I came out with that I debuted at demo days. And I was head down working on the monitor that's bouncing around on the back, and I look out the front window and there's tumbleweeds, and look out again and it's raining and it's sunlight, and we get into Flagstaff and there's ice and snow on the ground. So I was really confused about where we were going for a little while. Then we finally got up the Hoover Dam and into Vegas, and the show began. I mean, as soon as Sean steps out that RV, it's game on.
Oh man, you're not lying.
Losses. There was a hurricane back home while we were all in Vegas, having fun digging fences, pounding fences. Hurricane was going off at the house. Wife and kid were home alone. Luckily, my wife was instructed well enough to start the generator and get that going. By the time she got the generator going, the power came back on though, so it really wasn't that big a deal.
Well, that's good. All right. So then that was your loss for the week. That's not too bad. I mean, like your home's still standing and everything, right?
Oh yeah, everything's fine. None of my fences blew down, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome as well.
Didn't get a single complaint about none of the no dig fences.
Awesome. Hell yeah, man. I love it. All right. Well, you want to go ahead and give us a brief overview of who Evan Gardner is and where you're out of. I know I've already like butchered the name of the city, but
Denham Springs.
yeah.
Who I am? I'm just a dumb old landscaper. I started landscaping back when I was 15 years old, working for an old man that worked hard. After high school, I went to school for drafting and design, and eventually found my way into owning my own landscape company. And through the years, I've adopted fencing, and it has become a way of life. It seems. Just eat, breathe, and drink fence all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, wasn't planning to be here, but I'm glad I am.
Yeah, same. Absolutely same. But, all right, all right. Well, all right. We're gonna go right into the Fence Show recap, and both of us had a pretty good in and out experience of it. We got to see the ins and the outs and the inside workings of it because we helped set it up, break it down. We were there on the showroom floor every single day. We kind of already touched on demo days, driving through that ridiculously hard ground. But dude, setting it up is something that I am still amazed at. I remember we got there and it was like 7:30ish, and all there was the skeleton of that beer garden, and it was just nothing else. And
Yeah,
then
it
by the
was
time we
rock
left
everywhere.
that day, it was completely set up and completely ready to go for that like next morning, and I was pleasantly surprised.
The FWA girls had a lot to do with setting up those stations and stands where everybody was at. They coordinated that awesomely.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And they just took control over that. We were just like, hey, we kind of need help. And it's a bunch of dudes out here. We don't exactly know what we're doing. So, and Bailey took over that. She was just like, all right, we're gonna like take these tent fence panels, and they're 10 by 10. So that's how big, or they're like 10 by 6, whatever they are. But like she was like, we're gonna set these out where all the like exhibitors go, and we're gonna like put their names on the tent fence panels. I was like, man, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. So they laid it all out. And when we left that day, we had very minor setup to do the next day on Tuesday. And like that was awesome. And like we're talking about the weather as well. Like a lot of people were extremely uncomfortable and extremely hot outside. I was good to go. It was awesome not actually sweating. How did you feel?
Does anybody remember the windstorm?
Oh yeah.
All of the tents that almost flew away with everybody holding one just came
Yeah,
out
that
of
was the day
nowhere.
before, wasn't it?
That
That
was with
evening,
the
right?
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were all hanging on and hoping we weren't going to fly away.
Yeah, man, we got this huge tent finally all set up with like the actual tent part on it. And we didn't have sandbags yet or like stakes out there to secure the tent. And just out of nowhere, this huge windstorm comes. And it took like all, what, 12, 15 of us to stand on it to keep it
Every
from blowing
single
away.
person was standing on some type of tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we broke out the ski drill and drove some 2 3/8 Schedule 40 pipes as our new tent stakes and strapped the top of the tent ridge to
Yep.
those posts.
Yeah, we
I mean,
did.
there
Yeah,
was a
we
lot
did.
of obstacles that we overcame that day. I mean, there was the generator that wouldn't power the
The
cooling
ladder.
fans,
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
and
ladder.
then it was filling up the cooling fans
Yeah.
was an issue. We overcame it all though. We a bunch of fencers got together. We figured it out.
And then we're not going to mention American Ninja Warrior showing up.
Oh yeah,
Oh my God, guys. If you watch the newest episode of American Ninja Warrior, just know I kind of had a hand. We kind of had a hand in like letting them use the lot that we had already rented and paid for. So funny because I guess the lead dude's name over there is Billy. And he came to me and he was like, "Hey man, you're Billy, right?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm with AES, whatever," or like whatever he said. And I was just like, okay, we'll just pick a spot and just get set up, man. Like, I haven't heard your name before. He walks over like 5 minutes later with like the big wig. He was like, hey, man, where were the American Ninja Warrior? I was like, oh, you have no business at the Fence Show demo days, do you? He said, no, sir. I think they double booked us. I said, oh, well, that's a problem then, huh? But guys, if you watch the newest episodes, you can see South Point Casino and you can see the demo days lot that we worked at. Pretty cool stuff, or at least I think it is. Out of all the drivers, I know you used pretty much all the drivers. Which one do you think won the show, hands down?
Patriot.
Really?
Bull, Patriot. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But Josh Rand's ski drill did come in handy in a pinch, getting those tent stakes in the ground.
We raced Josh Rand's like ski drill versus Sean's hydraulic rhino, and that was the first time I had used the hydraulic rhino for more than just one post that just we couldn't get through. And I actually like that thing, man. You got to have gloves on because that little switch gets mighty hot. But other than that, man, that thing's a beast, absolute beast.
Well, I saw Sean drive a 2 3/8 Schedule 40 through a rotten 4x4 post, kind of like what we did whenever I came to Pace.
Mm-hmm.
You bored it out, but he didn't bore it out. He just drove straight through the sucker. And with that hydraulic.
I believe it. I believe it.
And it was almost like hands free. Once you get that thing balanced and hit the switch, it's just doot, 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 doot.
Yeah. Well, I used an air powered rhino when I was up there working with his Top Dog crew, and it actually requires no down pressure, man. You put down pressure on it and it stops pounding. But man, that son of a gun was heavy though. That son of a gun was heavy. We're going to get into our next topic, which is the exhibitor turnout, which I think was awesome. What about you?
I thought the floor was pretty impressive.
Yeah. But we're still on demo days, so we're still outside. But I thought the outside turnout was pretty great. We had U.S. Hammer. We had the Ladies of Greenwood Fence. We had Big Red Post Puller, Man Saver,
NW Quick Pull.
Those guys were out there. We had Expert Stain and Seal was out there as well. Oh, guys, we had Flex out there.
That's who Sean did the demo with. I couldn't think of.
We had Flex Tools out at demo days, and I've said this to them, and I didn't want to say it while everybody was around, but we bought Flex whenever they first came out, and I was all gung ho for them, man. Super, super, super strong tools, and I'll tell that story in just a second. But all the batteries leaked battery acid. We bought over $1,000 worth of Flex tools, and within the first 3 weeks they were useless because all the batteries leaked and nobody would answer the phones. So I actually talked to the guys after everybody left about that, and they have fixed the problem. But not just that, guys, if you have ever used one of these Flex tools, they might be a little bit heavier, but I'm telling you, they are heavier for a reason. About 2 years ago, I think, was whenever I first tried them. I absolutely ran over a skill saw with a bobcat. Picked it right up out of the dirt, and I used it. It cut straight. Nothing was bent. I was like, wow, that's hard to believe. But Flex tools seem to be on the up and up. That was pretty cool stuff.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah. What was your favorite exhibitor out there at demo days?
The Mr. Fence trailer.
My trailer? Hell yeah.
Your trailer.
Love it.
Nice, neat, and organized, and all the tools you need. You can't build a fence out of that thing. You don't belong in a. Yeah.
The only thing we can't build out of that thing is a chain link fence, because there is not a single, besides fence pliers, there's not a single chain link fence tool in that whole entire trailer. I realized that really quick whenever we were setting up to do that chain link, and I was like, bro, I don't have a pull jack, I don't have a come along, I don't have a tree, I have nothing to do chain link with. I have a pair of pliers. Like that is it. And so that is one thing. But other than that, man, I spent a long time cleaning, organizing, labeling everything. So that way I know exactly where everything's at. And if something's missing, I can just look at it and be like, oh, I'm missing a drill right there. So,
And he does.
oh, yeah. Oh, yes, I do. Every time we stopped and got
Every time.
gas, I opened up the door, I put all the tools back up that had fell
It's
off.
like, hold on, I have to pick these up each time. Same ones.
Heck yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The like same 3 drills and then the
Yep.
like quick pull every single time falls out. But that is what it is. Okay, so let's talk about some of the fence build because I'm interested in this Z post. It's got my gears turning.
Well, I had never seen the Z post before demo days. I'd heard about them, and I got to see them, and they were interesting. They're thick. They're a lot thicker than their competitors' posts, and they're obviously a completely different shape. They go in the ground pretty well. I wish we'd had a little harder hitting driver for the situation, but they went in the ground well. You built on them easily, and you can pick at both sides of them. And they stack nicely on a pallet. I mean, you can, as far as competitors and the awkwardness of holding a post shape like that, Z posts they stack on a pallet, and you can get a whole bunch of them on a pallet and easily store them without taking a
And I
whole lot.
bet you can count them a lot easier too.
You can probably count them a lot easier.
Anybody that's used Postmasters knows how much of a pain in the ass it is trying to count them things whenever they're all in a huge bundle. You lose count so quick. You're like, wait a minute, I've already counted that one. Oh shit, man, I don't even remember what I'm on now.
I learned early on to not be the tough guy, not try to pick up more than one post at a time. Your fingers will get pinched in them things. But Z posts, I think you could probably pick up 2 of them. I mean, they're stout, they're thick, they're heavy. So.
Those things are, and what we had 9-footers out there.
Yep.
Those are heavy.
Yep.
I carried 2 of them, and I was like, wow.
They were a little stronger than I feel like they're a little bit stronger than their competitors. Interesting to see how they come up. Super Absolutely. Nice guys too. I mean the whole Z post crew. I mean they saw me driving that post and they're like, we're gonna make sure our post gets in the ground. So they were the ones hanging on the driver and making sure that post is going down.
Nice. Well, and you were in the booth with the Bull guys. Did you talk to them about a drive cap for the Z post?
Oh yeah, it's already figured out. That's
sweet.
They already have one. It's actually the drive cap that they use for Postmaster post is all going to stay the same, but the barrel on the Bull driver that has the slot for the Postmaster post, that slot is going to they're just either going to add another slot over or move the slot on the existing barrel. So I mean, if you call and say that you need one for Z post, they can spit one out just as fast as they can a Postmaster one.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
So problem solved for driver with air, pneumatic driver.
Heck yeah, man. I love it. All right. Well, we also built a couple other types of fences. We did a King Plus wood privacy, which I was pleasantly surprised with the turnout of people who wanted to watch that. That was pretty cool. Blew a lot of people's minds that we were building wood fence off of like schedule 40, or no, was that schedule 40 or was that schedule 20? No, that was schedule 40.
That's 40. It had to be 40. I would have buckled to schedule 20 that ground.
Yeah. So it blew a lot of guys' minds who have been in the game for a long time, that we were building fence off of an 8-foot schedule 42 and 3/8 pipe with only 4 feet sticking out of the ground. That was cool. And then like Sean took over the vinyl privacy, which was no dig as well. They blasted through that, absolutely blasted through that. And then I got to watch the Dig and Set Greenwood composite fence go up, and that was really cool. Like extremely cool to watch because I had never even seen Greenwood fence, and that was the first time that I had actually put my hands on it. Sorry guys, one of my like lights went out for some reason. I don't even like know why.
Greenwood
Let's
has
look at
a
around.
really good product.
Yeah,
And they are fast at getting an estimate to you. Like you call those girls or email them with a layout, and you got it same day or early the next day, shipping and everything.
that's awesome.
Here's how much it's going to be. So
That's
they're really
awesome.
quick. They're really quick.
Well, it was a really nice like product, and I was really impressed with it, with how well, with like how thick it's made, and just all of the different options that you can do for it. It was really cool. All right.
And shout out to Bailey for kicking butt using the wingman tool on the Z post.
Oh, heck yeah.
She was able to throw those 2x4s up like nothing.
Hurricane hitting it. No, it's probably because AT&T is still on strike and you can't get anybody on the phone, so my Wi-Fi still sucks.
Badass Bailey.
Oh yeah. And y'all talked about her on the Women of FWA podcast tonight. About her just showing up and showing out there, right?
She did. She just worked like no one was watching. Apparently, just her thing. There was no showing off, showing out. It was actually just Bailey doing Bailey.
Nice. That's awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna go. Opening day of the Fence Show. I thought it was amazing. I thought that the marching band was over the top, was awesome. Dude, they had like a guy on stilts walking around, like swinging around lights on ropes and stuff, man. I thought it was great. Like, what was your reaction like to that?
I mean, the Darth Vader and Princess Leia that was like 12 feet tall. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And so I know Susan fixed the term for me, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The fabric dancer was cool as shit. It's just really called an aerialist. So that's what it's actually called. But I was just like in my notes, I was like, fabric dancer? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I was like, I don't know what it's called.
You mean the really cool girl in the cloth?
Yeah.
Aerialist.
She was way up high. And she was doing it like multiple times a day too. Like it was pretty cool, man. And like you said, they had Darth Vader. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Evan, what are some booths that stuck out like to you at the show?
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Z Post booth.
Yeah,
because it was a full-on trailer sitting on the floor, and I mean, all they had to do was hook up to it, close up shop, hook up to it, lift the trailer back up, and they're out of there. I mean, that's
bro. And that
really
trailer
impressive. Their setup.
That freaking trailer was one of a kind, man. Like, you ain't stealing that trailer if they leave it behind. Like,
I don't know what
it literally drops all the way to the floor, and the whole body of the trailer is sitting on the ground.
Yeah,
and it's cool. It's cool. So, the coolest booth that I saw was Fence Hog, or I guess Easy Go Manufacturing is their actual name. But that was the like coolest booth for me, just because I've never seen their product up close and personal, and got to like put my hands on it and see all the different things, the mud hog, all the fence hogs. It was really cool. Next, of course, is going to be Mr. Fence Tools. That freaking booth is always awesome, and the way that we get that quad pod up is insane. Takes 12 people to put up and down, but pretty damn cool. Fence Armor had the biggest booth that they've ever had, and man, that felt like walking into a showroom whenever we went into the Fence Farmer booth. I was like, I feel like we're inside somewhere different right now. It was a really, really, really cool booth. And then Titan Post Drivers caught my eye, and there's a reason for that because they had that big ass barrel of a post driver that drove up to 6-inch pipe. It was huge. Huge. I'm a little bit upset that they didn't go with a bigger motor for it. They still stuck with the GX35. They didn't put a GX50 on it. But still, that was really cool. It can do everything, and they have all these different drive caps to keep the same barrel, but to drive up to like 2 3/8 pipe, like smallest. So I was like, that's a pretty cool looking driver, and it works with all the extension handles and all that stuff. And I've owned a Titan, and they get a bad rep in the fence industry, but I mean, like at the end of the day, like if you take care of it and you know how to rebuild them, they're pretty easy fixes at the end of the day, and they do just as well as a Rhino does or a Ready Driver at the end of the day as well. So that's my take on it. Was there anything else besides the Z post that like stuck out to you?
Well, I would say that the Fence Hog, the EZG guys.
Yeah.
The orange. I mean, look. It's like Joe Everest belongs in the middle of that booth. Like it's just everything is orange.
Yeah, everything.
I've been to several shows, and they always have a very large footprint on the layout of the show. They got some cool stuff like hydraulic, chain link stretching, rolling up things. It's just a bunch of crazy stuff. They got a machine that'll spit out the concrete in the hole for you, even though we don't use much concrete no more. That'd have been nice to have back when I had a Bobcat and skid steer.
The Mud Hog.
Yeah,
that's a pretty damn cool machine, man. It mixes it for you.
Concrete truck, fill up and go to the hole.
Yeah, buddy. And then like you just dump it right in there. It's even got a little like spout that goes right into the hole as well. So I had fun at that booth. But those were my favorite booths, and among that was the Z Post booth that Mr. Evan mentioned. And just a really cool booth, like overall. I mean, even though that trailer wasn't filled with a bunch of tools like how ours was, that trailer was almost cooler than the new War Wagon, just because of it could go up and down.
Wasn't that cool?
I mean, it wasn't that cool because it's not stacked with tools, but you know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Their booth was great, and they were really good dudes. Like they were some cool fellas.
What was your favorite booth at the show?
My favorite booth was Women of FWA.
Of course it was. Y'all did have
massages. Y'all had massages going on every time.
There were massages.
Down. I'm like, man.
Yep. I walked in the second day when they set them up, and I was like, what is this? I'm like, oh, there was the massage chairs because nobody was there yet. I was like, why do we just have chairs in the middle of the aisle? And I was like, oh, those are massage chairs. I know exactly what those are. And then throughout the whole show, those chairs were never empty.
They were not.
The whole day that it was going on, it was
everyone was
never
so
empty.
Friendly. It was just a great booth.
I mean, and
Susan
do a shout out real quick for Susan Worley. Look, there she is right there.
Yeah.
And she kicked ass organizing this whole thing.
Oh, hell
she
yeah.
Did.
And she still has all her hair. I mean, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Huge shout out to Susan.
Very good multitasker there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being there for me to lean on whenever all these other people were leaning on me and I wasn't quite ready for it yet. Because when they handed me that walkie-talkie on Monday, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll never use this.
But you were on that thing constantly.
Boy. That was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. I was like, oh my God. I could not wait until like 7 p.m. so I could turn it off. I was like, oh, here's 7. Off. You go on the charger. But it was a great time. I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was here, there. I was doing my classes. I was doing fence games. I was getting like stuff that people needed. It was it was a lot, but I really enjoyed myself.
You even brought me a bucket of dirt last minute. And I needed a stand to showcase my tool, and you saved the day. Brought the bucket.
I did.
And that was a heavy bucket, I'm sure. You toted it all the way across the show floor.
I
Appreciate
did,
that.
bro.
Thank you, by the way.
I did, man. You like you sent me that text, and me and Owen or Trenton were packing the dig bucket full, like that way that like people could dig holes and own their hole challenge. But you were like, hey man, I need some way to like mount my tool and mount all this. I was like, oh bro, I got you. I'm just gonna fill this 5-gallon bucket with dirt and walk it right over to you. I got about halfway to you, and I was like, I was not expecting this dirt to be this heavy.
Take a little break, huh?
Yeah, but yeah, man, I'm all about that, dude. Like helping other people out. Like I was even 3 minutes late to my first class because Craig Eubanks was about to do a podcast and he had a technical issue, and I was just like, I'm gonna be late for this. So I went and got him all my like stuff. I dropped it off and I said, it's the same brand, it's just bigger. You know how to use it. I gotta go. And like I ran in and everybody was there, and like we're just gonna like segue to the education courses. But that's how my first class went. I was a little nervous because I was late, but I was only like 3 minutes late. And but yeah, man, the first class went well. Honestly, I think that was my favorite class because it really had the most engagement besides the wood class. No, yeah, it was the wood and the proper like team member training classes that had the most engagement. But out of all, it was the proper team member like training, and hands down my favorite class that I had to teach. Did you get time to go to any of the classes?
I didn't have time to go to any of the classes. I actually attended the Overdrive last year. I know that was kind of before all the classes. The classes that I did attend, well, I attended them last year, and they kind of did it again this year. But no, this year I didn't get to attend any of them.
Yeah, well, that's because you were on the showroom floor as a tool manufacturer, right?
Yeah. I was parked in one spot.
Guys, I am baiting you with that because we're going to get to that after the commercial break. So we are going to get to that. All right. So that leads me to Overdrive, which you said that you went to last year. Guys, we had an amazing turnout like for Overdrive. I don't know personally because I wasn't there, but I was there at all of like the after meetings. Nico killed it, Sam killed it, Sean killed it like normal. Excuse me, guys, if you haven't been to one of these Overdrive courses or to the Mr. Fence Academy like retreat, which is the full blown like drinking out of a fire hose, you need to do one of them, because all of the conversations with the people who had like been in and just gotten out of class they were awesome. You could tell that they took away a lot of golden nuggets.
There's lots of golden nuggets in Overdrive for sure. Your head will hurt, and it is a hardcore 2 days of being honest with yourself.
Right. You got to be, or you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
And Sam Natello speaks at the Overdrive too, I believe.
Yes, he did. And he crushed it as well. But I mean, when does he not crush anything that he does, man? He's a freaking great guy.
The website sucks. I got up early and worked out like 2 days while I was there, and Sam was in there leaving by the time I got in there. So every day I was going down there like 5 o'clock. He was already done with his workout, going to get breakfast. And then one day he posted, "Your sleeves suck," and he had a shirt, no sleeves on his shirt.
I guarantee you, if Chris Gass would have been there, he would have been done working out at 4.
Oh, Chris would have like worked out for 4 hours straight with whoever else walked in there. Like he doesn't stop.
No, not at all. We missed you, Chris Gass.
Yeah.
But something that I want to go over, which I really liked, is, as I was browsing through when my time slots were for the classes, I was also looking at all of the other classes. And man, guys, they had such a diversity of not just classes, but the instructors for classes. People that I've never heard of that are big names in the industry that know their shit and know what they're talking about and want to pour into all of our cups. And if you didn't make it out to the fence show, man, you got to go ahead and plan for it next year, because all of these free classes that come along with the education pass are absolutely worth it, hands down. You were in my last class, so that way you could grab some pictures of me.
Oh,
How do you think it went?
I think it went pretty great.
Yeah.
The both of you were up there, and everyone was very enthralled by what you had to say because it was very useful information. And I love that you have props, so I'm visual.
Yeah.
I got to see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you had those props, so I could see what you were
had
saying.
props.
So Jeff Graff had to move his vinyl class to the last day, and it got scheduled at the same time that my vinyl class was. So we just kind of teamed up. We used one of Sean's gates with the aluminum gate uprights for the vinyl fence, and so we just kind of showed how to put that together, showed what the benefits are of the whole system. And so we had a gate in the class, but that was my only actual prop. My other 2 days are like, I'm going to be talking to fencers, right? And I'm an actual fencer. I'm not a business owner or anything like that. So it was no PowerPoints for me.
I got to work with you one day, and you know your stuff. You're a hell of a fencer, man.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. But yeah, no, so there was no PowerPoints for me. I was just basically giving them, all the advice that I've soaked up or either learned the hard way or talk to this person and talk to that person. And then at the last 15 20 minutes, I would just completely open the floor up for a Q&A, and that's where all of the magic happened in it. All the classes, we all just got to talking, and it was great. What I did find out is this crew came to all 3 of the classes that I taught. They're from California. I don't ever want to build a fence in California ever. Ever.
Why is that?
The rules that they have to abide by are insane. The fence must be slammed to the ground, no light gaps anywhere. So if you're building a wood fence on a grade, you either have to cut pickets or you have to trench them. So I was like, no, never. I don't ever want to build a fence in California at all. But that is one thing that I learned. I was like, no, thank you on that one. But all right, well, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We are going to do the wingman and the wing jack whenever we get back.
Right.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. Welcome to the Fence and Deck Agency, where we build fencing websites that homeowners and contractors love. We specialize in winning the trust of homeowners, and we do this by positioning you as the fencing experts in your service areas. We follow our proven framework, which we've branded as the ultimate Fence and Deck website blueprint, where we get homeowners to like, know, and trust you. Teaming up with the Fence and Deck Agency will help you dominate your local market, and we'll build a website you'll be proud of. The link to get started is in the podcast description.
Oh, all right. We are back for the last portion of this episode. Like, it's been a great episode so far, guys. The part that I was most excited to talk about right here, the wingman and the wingjack.
Yes,
Guys,
sir.
if you didn't know, Mr. Gardner makes these tools. It was his own thing. So you just go ahead and just give us the rundown of everything of it.
Well, it's the wingman was the first tool that I created. I used it by myself and didn't really tell anybody about it for the longest time. Well, I say the longest time, at least a few months. It's basically a spring-loaded jig that sits on the post. Once you drive your Postmaster post or your lifetime post or the Z post, the tool works for any of those posts. You drive them to height. You hang the post, the wingman on the post, and it'll hold your 2x4s at height. There's no lifting it up to your certain reveal or anything. It's already sitting at your reveal. You can one-handed, screw the 2x4s to the post. It's very beneficial. The beauty of driving the post to height and then putting the wingman on the post and putting your 2x4s up. The wing jack is the next tool that I created. So sometimes we drove a post a little bit too deep, so we were flanging another piece of a post together and using a bottle jack to get it up. So I was like, got a better idea for that. So we used just a regular old trailer jack. I made some custom brackets with pivoting feet at the base. You can put a stake around the post and operate the jack with a drill, so you can adjust your fence line post heights or pull a post or remove a post without damaging it. Those are the two tools that I created, and they've worked out great. I've kind of made them out of the desperation of having to build fences by myself sometimes. And these two tools allow that to happen. So if nobody shows up, or if I just plan to do the whole job by myself, I can drive the post, put the 2x4s up, adjust the post heights, put the pickets up, all solo.
Nice. Okay, so from idea to design to execution, walk us through that.
Well, from the idea, I used to drive around still do drive around with a cut section of Postmaster and a cut section of our gate post, which we don't use engineered square tubing as our gate frames anymore. But I tossed it in the back seat. It landed right in the middle of the channel of the Postmaster post. And I was like, I can add some cleats on that, and I disassembled my daughter's trampoline spring or trampoline that she never used. That was my test dummy. The first tool was kind of thrown together and very mocked up. I used parts of a jack, of the handle of an actual jack, and some unistrut, and it was just a awkward contraption to get the concept going. But I still use the original concept. It's in my truck installing with me every day now. The concept to reality, it was just with my background in drafting and design and AutoCAD. I'm good buddies with a local laser cutting and bending place here in town, and it's very easy for me to prototype something. I can just draw it up, send it over, get them to cut it out, and I'll test it until I get it right.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That is really cool. So we already hit on the wing jack, but tell people where you can find these tools, because I'm sure there's still a lot of people out here like either driving Postmasters, lifetime posts, or getting started to use Z posts. And just from watching you guys use them, it's a total game changer in it.
Yeah, you saw us pull up that Z post out there at demo days.
Yes, sir. I got a video of that.
Yeah. Currently, to get the tools, I have a QR code floating on the Wingman Facebook page. It's basically the wait list. So you fill out your information. It's on a type form. Puts it all in a spreadsheet for me. So once these tools are ready for mass production, I'm gonna give everybody a call, get them ordered, collect payment, and get them shipped to you. We're still kind of waiting on. We have some pretty big names that are interested in licensing or purchasing the concepts of these tools. But I think that's we might still be able to sell a few. We still have a few in the shop that we can get rid of,
There we go. There we go. Well, man, I am super happy for you. Super proud of you, man. All that stuff takes a lot of time, guys, if you didn't know that. But, guys, thank you to all of our sponsors. www.mrfenceacademy.com. It will change your fence game, change your fence business. www.nmifence.com. And then Pro Web Fencing, guys. I'm sorry I was not prepared for that one because we just got a new website, but I will post that on my Facebook page after we are done. Upcoming events, guys. I got my training in Pace, Florida, October 10th and 11th. It's going to be an awesome time. We're going to be doing King Plus and Nordic Vinyl. Go to eventbrite.com and look it up and go ahead and get yourself registered. Do your company a favor. Invest in yourself and your company. You're going to love it at the end of the day. I mean, dude, like, what was your first experience at training?
It's fast paced. It's moving and explaining. You pick up, you listen to the instructions, and then you do.
Yep. It's awesome. Also, guys, Fence Week 2024 brought to you by Mr. Fence Academy and the FWA and the Fence University by the FWA. Guys, this is going on first week in November 4th through the 9th. And it's going to be in 12 different cities, 22 different like instructors. And the beauty of this is that every day in, we're all going to hop on a Zoom call together, and we're all going to just mesh and talk about what we've done together. Like, obviously, there's going to be some structure behind it, so that way we're not all like talking over each other. But man, it's going to be a great time, guys. Go to like eventbrite.com and search out like Fence Week. 12 people get to go free per location. Take advantage of that, guys. Take advantage of that, man. With that said, guys, we are coming up on the end of the show. And Mr. Evan, you got any closing thoughts for everybody watching?
Keep on fencing.
Hell yeah.
Keep rocking it out.
Hell yeah. I love that.
Quit setting in concrete. Start pounding some posts and get you some wingmans.
There we go. There we go. Guys, go check out the Wingman if you have not already checked it out. It's an awesome tool, man. But with that said, hey, brother, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I can't wait to see you next time and collaborate and work more together. And with that said, bro, you have a wonderful night, all right?
All right. See you.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys, wonderful show tonight. Felt good to be back in the chair after 2 weeks of not being here. Guys, go check out JC Gurry. Go check him out. Awesome signs. Maybe some future collaborations with them, but we'll see about that, right? But yes, guys, I will be starting a fence sign thing on the ceiling of my trailer as well. I'm just trying to build them up. So if you want to have your fence sign on my ceiling of my trailer, send it to me. Can't wait to have it. With that said, guys, we got an awesome show lined up for you next week. See you there, 7:30 Tuesday. I did not mean to do that.